Hello and welcome to Model Kit Stuff. My name is Jason and this is the September Roundup. So September's felt like a really long month for more than just one reason, and we'll talk about some of that later on. But as most of you know, if you caught the August roundup, at the end of August I got another year older, and as such the channel in September has benefited from one or two little prezzies I got. The first was I got a new lamp, which means we've now got less shadow in the videos, which is good. And the other thing is that I got this microphone, which is why the sound is now starting to improve. And when I'm holding my iPad, because I've got no alternative, be it the model is too big to get in shot on the table or whatever, you're no longer going to hear my hands moving about and all of that sound, sort of sounds, because it's all coming through the microphone. So a couple of nice upgrades for me and for the channel. So let's just look back at what happened in September. So if you missed something, you can go and dig it out. So we kicked off with a first impressions video of the 1/48 scale Airfix Canberra, or is it Canberra? My Australian friends did correct me on how I pronounced that. And the Canberra was one of two aircraft that we reviewed in the month. The other, also an Airfix kit, was the little 172 ME262. Not a spectacular kit, but we'll build together okay, and we'll do the job, particularly for the younger modelers out there, or people who just love the gentleman's scale of modelling. So the rest of our first impressions videos focused on ships. We had that beautiful wooden kit of the Mary Rose. It is really a beautiful, beautiful kit. As wooden model ship kits go, that is one of my very favourites, partly because it's so well engineered that you can concentrate on the finish and doing what you want with it, and not have to spend a lot of time with making the parts the way they should be. So one of the viewers commented that, you know, there was a lot of stuff pre-done, baling pin holes and that sort of stuff that typically you would have to drill out yourself in other kits. And the kit he was referring to I happen to have, and I totally agree with him. Some manufacturers just don't go to those lengths. There is some debate as to whether Caldercraft are still trading, although you still seem to be able to buy their kits. So I think they just haven't chucked out anything new for a long time. But they're still afloat. I've checked them out and I know that the company is still officially trading. Then we had, of course, we had Trumpeter's Hipper, and I also have the Blucher. As you all know, as it was one of the choices that we had for the subscriber build, and the result is that the Hipper and the Blucher are very similar, so much so that probably there is an error in, or several errors I would imagine, in one of them, because if I know Trumpeter, they'll have made those kits very similar, assuming that sisters means that all the parts are common, which is the mistake they appear to have done with the Gneisenau and Scharnhorst in 1/200 scale. The Scharnhorst, being released first, has the hull designed for her sister ship, and all the portholes and rubbing strips and so on and so forth are in the position of her sister, not in the position of the Scharnhorst. So if you're going to buy into the Hipper, brilliant, but do your research if you want to get it accurate. And then of course we did our first impressions video of Revell's 1400 Queen Mary 2, which then led into the build video that we saw. So actually a really nice model. It's starting to show its age a little bit, the main issue being the raised decks, but it's going together quite nicely. And one way or another, September was a very Queen Mary 2 focused month, whereas we had several videos revolving around the Queen Mary 2, and that's now going to get into a routine as we head into October of a build diary every other week is the intention. Certainly not a guarantee, but that is what we're intending to do. Now I have to say that the Queen Mary 2 build is quite a unique build for me. It's the first time I've ever worked on a modelling project in collusion with somebody else, and Stephen has brought an immense amount of knowledge and information to this particular build. So I know it's going to be something special at the end of that process, but it does give its challenges, and so Stephen and I have a fairly regular meeting, and we talk about the progress, what we need next, what I need in the way of video content, and that sort of thing. So it takes up a little bit of time, thoroughly enjoyable, however. The one thing that has been a little bit challenging is working through the kit in the build sequence. It's not something I normally do, and as I said in the episode 4, actually not too big a problem with the Queen Mary 2, because she builds up in a logical way anyway, sort of ground up to the middle. So we'll just have to see how that progresses, but certainly the intention is to keep plodding on as per the instructions, so anyone following can do that. And as you'll have seen, that the Queen Mary 2 build has been fairly popular, not just on Instagram, but was picked up by the Maritime Museum in Hamburg. And another first for me. I've never been interviewed before, and no one's really been that interested in my view of a model before. So that was a really interesting experience, and I'm hoping that more will come out of that connection that we've formed with the Maritime Museum. Now, if you are not aware of the Hamburg Maritime Museum, go and check them out. They have a website, they have an Instagram channel, and they produce something every day focused on a different ship, and a large part of their collection is model ships, quite large scale. So really quite interesting. If you're interested in your ships, definitely worth going to find them out, and you never know, you might see more of what we do at some point along the way. Who knows? So in terms of builds, September didn't really quite go to plan. We did in August build the MiG, which was the first build I think that we saw in September, and that was actually just what I needed. A total break, slap something together, don't worry about getting it technically right, and you know, just slap it together, and you will see that up there she now sits on top of my computer monitor next to my magic wand, which is just for work. I work in procurement, and I'm often faced with the question of getting something yesterday that takes several weeks to manufacture, so that's what the magic wand's for. So I'd very much hoped that we would get a video out regarding HMS Fly, and as you can see, I have progressed HMS Fly, and I am absolutely adamant that we will get a video out. We've got the gun patterns on, and then we're going to start the planking. Unfortunately, there was a bereavement in my family, which meant that some of my time was taken up with that tragic event, and I didn't get as much time on the modelling bench as I would ordinarily have got, but family, as always, comes first in whatever we do in life. So it's been a difficult month in that way, and it has affected what we've been able to do here, but it's all part of life. As Ron would say, life is something that happens while you're making other plans, and that was definitely the case in September. We did, however, manage to progress quite well with the Mogami, and you'll see that she is way ahead of the video builds that you've been seeing, which I need to catch up on where we're up to. So Mogami is nearly done. I'm pretty much on touch up and stick the aircraft on, which are all painted and finished. So Mogami is nearly there, and we will see more of Mogami in October, although you won't get the final video in October. But as you can see, she's gone together really well and she's looking good, and we are nearly there. The other build that we'll be seeing in September, of course, is the Queen Mary 2 bow thrusters, which is a surprisingly complex little bit of the build. And then we start moving on to the hull, cleaning the hull up, and as you can see, starting to paint her. And just a reminder that all of my actual build videos go out with live chat. They're all done as premieres. They go out on a Saturday evening, 9 PM UK time, and there is a live chat on there. So once you've got the video up and running, hit the live chat button, and you'll be able to talk to myself, other viewers, and in the case of the Queen Mary 2 build, also Stephen Payne, so you can ask him questions about the actual ship, the model, what he's doing at the weekend, whatever you like. And if you can't make it, then to catch the premieres as they go out live, then if you watch it later on and hit the live chat button, you will see that conversation appearing real time as the video plays. Now the reason why I mention that is certainly in the Queen Mary 2 build there is a lot of additional information around the subject we're focusing on in the video coming out in that live chat. So some really interesting facts about what's the equivalent weight in beer barrels of the Queen Mary 2, for example. Now, at the end of October, I'm actually going to go away. I'm taking my children finally, after a number of postponements, to Disney in Paris. Don't worry, we won't be doing a model kit stuff goes to Disney. Unless there's a model shop there, in which case we may. But I'm taking the kids away for a week or so, and that will coincide with a Queen Mary 2 build. So I may not be on live chat. I don't know if there's free Wi-Fi at Disney, so all being well, I might be able to just jump on and cover that off. But if not, I will leave you in the safe hands of Stephen and my other viewers, and leave it with them to get things going. It also means that that's a week where I won't get to the model desk in any shape or form. I've not been to Disney before. My partner has, and she tells me that I won't have time for anything. So we won't be. It's not like I can smuggle a model kit in the suitcase and have something to do in the evenings, because I believe I'm going to be quite busy. So there won't be any modelling done that week. So though you won't see it in terms of videos, I will try and stay ahead. It means that I'll have a little bit of catch up to do come November. So yeah, a short month in terms of what I can build. Now the other thing that I'm going to be doing in October, so keep your eyes out for it, may happen in October, may just happen in November in time for our first year anniversary, is I'm working on a new replacement channel trailer. So keep your eyes out for that. The first trailer did a job, but I think you'll all agree that in the nearly a year that model kit stuff has been running, my ability to produce a video has certainly improved quite substantially. I had a look the other day at some of the first videos and they are a bit cringy. So yeah, quite a little journey. So that's one of the things that we'll be doing in October, ready for November. What else I'm doing in November in line with the anniversary, I am not sure, but there will be a video of thank yous to some people that have helped me on the way, which includes some of my regular channel watchers and people that contribute regularly, who've all helped form the channel, but more on that in November. Now, the other thing we did in September, as always, is focus on tools a little bit, and we sort of went back to basics in September. So we focused on lighting, masking, that airbrush cleaning tool for cleaning your nozzle. So I've said it before, those videos are really aimed at people relatively new to the hobby, whether they're coming back or starting up, just to get through that minefield of videos. But some of those videos, like the Frisket masking film, for example, some people may not have come across that product before and not thought about using it in the modelling hobby. I don't think Frisket film is actually widely used by modelers, but I know that certainly I know people that use it as make their own paint masks out of it, for example. So it has its limitations, but it's actually a really good product if it suits your need. And as you can see, I used it in episode 4 as a low tack alternative to masking tape for holding down the little zinc anodes that we made. So as always, in October we'll be doing some first impressions, and we're going to be doing something slightly different during the course of this month with a couple of them. So you may not get to see all of these in October, some of them will end up being in November. There's usually about a 2-week lag, but I will be filming all of these in October. So the first one that I'll be filming is this ICM kit, which is a staff car that actually comes with all these figures that you can see here. And I've mentioned before the plans for a large diorama based around a FAMO tank transporter, and this is for that diorama. So we'll be having a look at that, and we will have some first impressions videos coming along in the coming months focused on figures, which isn't something a lot of model channels look at, is the figures. And it's a shame because some of them are really shocking, and it'd be nice to know that what you're buying is not very good standard at all. So we'll be reviewing that. I've not looked inside the kit, I've just bought it because it fulfilled a need. So we'll have a look at what the kit and its contents are like in the coming few weeks. We'll also be looking at this Tamiya Messerschmitt BF109, which is a G6, very common model. This was their re-released version, which has the little magnets so you can open the cowls and close them and stuff. So again, another kit that I've not looked at. When it came out, I really fancied it, so I got this. I got this delivered the first week of release, I seem to remember. But yeah, we'll have a look and see if it's a nice kit or not. But we'll also have a look at the Edward version. So this is a box I got when I joined the Edward Members Club, the Bunny Fighters Club, which is named after that famous African 3-day-long war in the 1990s over carrot fields. However, this box contains 2 BF109 G6 kits, so we'll be reviewing this one separately to the Tamiya one, and then we'll do an additional video where we'll compare the two and say, well, you know, which is best value for money, which appears to be the more accurate, which appears to be the easiest to build, so that depending on your level, you can choose who you think would make the better kit for you. So it should be interesting, a bit like we did in the Battle of the 132s, but not quite as in depth, and we won't be scoring it, we'll just be doing some comparisons. So that should be interesting. And we'll also be taking a look at this as a first impressions video. So I thought that was filling up my space on the desk. This is a little bigger. So this is the 135 scale Schnell boat. It's the Type S38. People seem to prefer the later armoured cabin version. Personally, I don't. This is the one I like, so this is the one I bought into. I believe it's a re-release. I'll check that out before I do the video. It does say fully upgraded moulds, and it's quite a big kit, over 600 parts, including the etch, I think. And I've got some additional extras for it, so it'll be interesting to have a look at that. I think it'll build up into quite a nice kit most likely, so we will take a look at that. That's the largest scale model boat that I've ever had, I think. 172 Flower Class Corvette would be the next largest one I've done, I would suspect. So be interesting to see what that's like. Now, I bought this when this was first re-released, so I've had it a little while and collected some aftermarket for it, so we can have a look at all that as well. Now, I don't usually tell you what's coming in the way of focus on tools videos, and that's normally because I've not made that decision, and I sort of pick things at random and film them. But in this case, we definitely will be doing at some point I can let you know that we'll definitely be doing a focus on tools video on this ship building cradle, which again is something I got for my birthday, so look out for that. So over the last month I've had a lot of new subscribers. I say a lot for my channel, and it's really nice to see that I'm doing something that somebody else finds interesting, and so a big thank you to all of those who've hit that subscribe button. Every time my subscriber number goes up by one, I'm quite flattered. So that's one more person who's found something interesting on the channel. So that's nice. And of course, I have my long-time subscribers, many of whom are still actively commenting on the videos regularly and so on. And a big thank you to you for your continued support. It is greatly appreciated. Part of the reason that I enjoy doing this is because of my regular subscribers who have got something to say and talk about the videos and come on the live chat and so on. And that's really nice. Build up a little community of people that I talk to regularly from all around the world, and that is really lovely. So another dimension to what effectively is videoing my hobby. It used to be that in the roundup that I used to give one or two other channels a bit of a shout out, and say, you know, go and have a look at what they've been doing, and I sort of dropped that off, partly because there's a certain number of channels that I watch regularly, and I think I'd pretty much given them all a mention one way or another, so there was in danger of getting a little bit repetitive. And for the same reason, because I had more and more people starting to subscribe, I stopped mentioning subscribers by name as well, because firstly it was too big of a task, and saying thank you to one person could be offensive to another person. And you know, I'm grateful for every single one of those subscribers, whether you've subscribed an hour ago or 11 months ago. It makes no difference to me. But I am going to say, if you don't follow Gavin Booth, go and have a look at what he's been doing recently. He's been doing a beginner's painting course for figures, which has been really, really tremendous to watch. And he's also dipping his toe in building ship for a first time in many, many years. Now, he's going into it using jumping in at the deep end. He's got some Atlantic etch, and he's got a modern warship from Trumpeter, and he's going for it. So all power to him. It's going to be an interesting journey to watch, and his figure painting skills are absolutely superb. So if you've not caught up with Gavin's videos recently, or you're not aware of his channel, go and check him out, because he is doing some lovely stuff right now that's definitely worth checking out. There's lots of other channels that I watch that are doing some really good stuff as well. I could be here all day mentioning what people are up to, but I think there's 1 or 2 channels we'll be mentioning next month that have been a bit of an inspiration into why my channel's here. So keep your eye out for the next roundup, which will be the October one. So I think that's really it for the roundup. We've covered what's been and what's coming. There's lots more Queen Mary to come, and that's the build that's holding my attention. The Megami is nearly over the line. So lots of new stuff coming. As always, a busy month in October as we rev up for November and the silly season. And then in November, we'll be doing something ahead of buying those kids and grandkids something for Christmas. Right then, you take care everyone, enjoy your modelling, and I will see you very soon.